Hey everyone, thank you once again for tuning in, and today we're going to get down to the Changeling. Hey everyone, thank you once again for tuning in. Remember, like, subscribe, and share. Don't let the show be a secret. Once again, I'm one half of the host of the iConis podcast, and we are going to get into the Changeling, as I was saying. And now, I know you might be thinking, Changeling, you mean like Beast Boy Changeling? No, we're talking about the other Changeling. So, first and foremost, thank you, Jaybird, for all the templates you do for us. And, if anyone wants any work done, you got to make sure to reach out to Jaybird Digital Arts. And here we go. So back in 2023, there was a whole DC round robin storyline that was going on that we're supposed to introduce new characters and people could vote for them. Now, I know I might be a little bit late to this party because, it's a lot of work going through all the archives, right? Okay. And catching up on this. Now, Hawkman and Hawkwoman or Hawkgirl are my favorite characters. These are characters I've always been drawn to. I like the look of them. I like they fly. I like the whole Thanagarian aspect. I like the Earth 2 one where they were archaeologists but the Thanagarian speaks to my love the stuff of outer space, futuristic. Okay, cool. Different planet. All right. Now we have Hawkman, Hawkwoman. They come down. Now we know over retcon and trying to capture storylines, they were original, then they were reincarnated all the time. And I know it's gotten very convoluted. I'm not trying to decipher all of that. But in 2023, they came out with these new series of characters. And one of them was Hector Hall. So I know you got Hector Hall, who is a Silver Scarab, and that's more of the Earth 2 storyline. And he's the son of Hawkman and Hawkgirl, I guess, from Earth 2. Not I guess, I know. And then they wanted, I guess, the revamp, and they came up with this character. So the drawing was so cool of they call him the Changeling. Let's call him Sparrow. I don't know, Hawk Jr., whatever. And he had the mace. So, he had a costume very similar to what appears to be, they're making it that it's his parents. Like Hawkman and Hawkwoman are his parents. He seems to be a teenage boy. He's got the mace. He's got a cocky smile on there. He's got the costume. As his parents have feather wings, he's got more like metal set of wings with like spikes on either side of it. The mace gives off electricity, just like, his mom's mace and how they depicted it in Justice League and Unlimited in the cartoon by Bruce Timm. And I thought this was interesting that, clearly that's the status of it. So he's a secret identity. He's Thanagarian. They put him in like, long pants and give him like running shoes, so to speak, give him a youthful appearance. And that was it. He was supposed to show up in a backup story, I believe in Superboy, backup story, but we never got it because you had to get, I guess, the digital copy of it. And I'm not even sure if it ever came out or not. When you look online, it said, some people said, oh, I read it, but there's no other aspects to it. So let's get down to a couple of the things. One of them, the creators were Kevin Scott and Fico Ossio, were the creators of what they call the Changeling. Now, hopefully that was not going to be his name, but I love the concept of it because if every other main superhero has either a ward, a descendant, a child, adoptive or biological that they have, why couldn't the Hawks have that? Because we knew before they kind of split them up and Hawkgirl had her own thing, and once again, it gets more convoluted. Hawkman and Hawkwoman married from day one. They are police from Thanagar. They've come over to Earth. Even if you take the reincarnation aspect into it, you figure it as a married couple, majority of the time, I'm not saying all, but majority of the time, they usually do have children. Why could he not exist, right? Like, Batman had Dick Grayson, he also had Damian Wayne, right? Green Arrows had a lot of sidekick heroes or children, from Connor Hawk to, Speedy, Roy. Same thing with Arthur. Even Wonder Woman, they gave her an offspring in the future. Okay. So why couldn't the Hawks, who were in a healthy married relationship, have a child? At least one. It would make sense. Now, knowing both Carter and Shiera and their aspects of how they go about crime fighting, yes. Is it dangerous? Do they maybe want to shelter their child from that world? Probably, absolutely. I would see that. I would love to know a storyline that they came to Earth as Thanagarians and maybe left their child at home with a relative, and then they had to go back and get them from whatever reason, because at one point they were exiled back, if you look at the original storyline from there, and they made Earth their home. So they didn't go back to Thanagar too often. They were really drawn. So maybe they went back and got their child. Maybe their child was born, they brought their child with them, but kept him under an assumed identity so people wouldn't put one and one together to keep him out of the spotlight. And of course, like all kids within comic books, Marvel, DC, whatever, at one point they're going to realize what their parents do. They're going to be curious about it, and they're going to want to flex their own wings, no pun intended, into this lifestyle. Do we have a missed storyline here? Could this child also be having that whole thing of reincarnation like his parents have? So let's look at it from two aspects. Let's say one, there's no reincarnation. They had their child. They know, unlike them, they can get reincarnated. Maybe he can't, so they don't want to be exposed. He finds his own set of wings, and then he gets brought in because he's seeing Robin and Kid Flash and Superboy, right? And Wonder Girl. And he's hearing these names, the Teen Titans, Young Justice. And he's like, Mom, Dad, how come I can't do it? They're doing it. Your other teammates allow them to do it. Why can't I? And at one point, he seems to have that rebellious streak that he would fashion his own set of wings. Even if their spaceship was in orbit, he would have a way to get up to that spaceship, nth metal himself, just in case, and could be something that it would be great to say, hey, he comes across. So he's not Golden Eagle, even though he could take on that moniker. He would come up with his own thing. Now, why Changeling? Don't know. He doesn't have any Changeling powers. So maybe that was the smokescreen name. That's his code name. And they had tabs on him. Maybe they put him in private school. And he's always in the shadows. This is why his parents were protective. So that's one aspect. Or maybe he was also able to be reincarnated like his parents. But of course, as parents, you don't want your child to die a gruesome death at the hands of enemies. And they probably tried to slow him down, and he got in there. So I think it'd be cool if they'd gone back and bring this character to light, Carter Hall, right? Hector Hall. And they spell his name differently, Haktor, Hector Hall. And let's bring them up. It'd be interesting to see the Hawks finally as parents, be it if they're together or divorced, however you want to look at the storyline, and bring in their child, and then have that child be a part of Young Justice, have that child have his own solo adventures, have that child be a part of the Teen Titans. It would be interesting to see that person added to the mix. I think this is something that's been overlooked and missing for a long time, and being teased that this is coming across, I was all for it, and then it went the way of the dinosaur. So it's never too late. The character is there. The character is now on the DC fan base or DC database. The look is already established. All we need is a story. All we need is a story to carry on, and maybe a different name. So we know the name Golden Eagle is out there. They can repurpose that. I don't know. As I said, I can't call him Sparrow. So it's got to be something Hawk theme related to keep within that, and see a different aspect of Hawkman and Hawkwoman. All the lengths they would go through to keep their child secret from everybody else. The lengths they'll go through to make sure that he has a proper upbringing in life, as normal as possible, that you can have like two superhero parents. And see how the rest of the Justice League reacts to it. Even Batman might be surprised, like, you have a son? It's like, we don't tell you everything. World's greatest detective, you didn't know? There's so many potential storylines that can happen because of the introduction of this character with who his parents are. It would be amazing. That's my 2 cents on that. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Remember, like, subscribe, and share. Don't let the show be a secret. And until then, let your wings flap. All right, then. This whole world's created by a pencil, a piece of paper, and lots of imagination. But we need some follow-through. Keep on dreaming. All right, we're out.